Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Brooks. I'm the city's Rehabilitation Specialist. No, I'm not from Inspectional Services, so I don't send out any of those complaints. I'm from the Housing Development Division, and what we do is using either city, state, or federal funds. We try to best use those to help with housing development and come up with some programs we think would best help the city. And we did another presentation with the Board of Realtors about a month ago, and Maureen graciously invited me to talk to you tonight. But what's going on in Worcester, there is the Buy Worcester Now program, which is primarily owner-occupied, but there are some... Yeah, sure. But there are some opportunities for investors also on some of the programs. So I can just quickly go over some of those programs. But before we get to that, I do have just some statistics on the city, where the city is now. Right now, through a housing study that was done over the previous year or so, there is estimated to be about $120 million in deferred maintenance on residential units in the city. And a lot of that is because of the age of the housing stock in the city. Over half of the housing stock is pre-1940. Another big thing going on right now is the aging of the occupants in the units. It's estimated by 2030, 45% of the city's population is going to be over 65. And 45% of those are going to have some type of physical or mental limitation. So that might be something to think about as you're renovating some of these units, if you're going to buy some of these foreclosed units that need a lot of work. When you're renovating them, think about the occupants who are going to age in place there. So it's little things like putting handrails in the showers, making wider entrance doors so wheelchairs can get in, those type of things, ramps. Because moving forward, that could be a lot of your clientele are some of those aging occupants. And another big thing in the city right now, Worcester has a really high pediatric asthma rate. It's about 1% over the state average. And a lot of that is to do with the housing stock. A lot of the gas-on-gas furnaces create a lot of fumes in the units, old, drips, mold, those type of issues. So that's one thing as a city we're looking at. Some of the programs we're gearing towards through our Healthy Homes is to address some of those issues, upgrading heating systems, taking care of some of the plumbing leaks, those issues, mold issues. This is what happened in Worcester this previous year. As you see, multifamily sales, about $55 million in multifamily sales. 314 properties were sold at an average selling price of about $176,000 per property. And this is the current market. I actually pulled these stats today from both Inspectional Services and also through MLS and other means. As of the end of the year, the city had identified 808 vacant units, meaning not just you're turning over the unit, but long-time vacant units, whether they're in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure. There's about 808 units that have been identified. Right now, as of today, there are 71 multifamily properties on the market active, meaning they don't have an offer on them yet. And these are the average rental rates for the last 3 months of the year. So it'd be October, November, December average. One bedroom is right now renting for $760. Two bedroom, $1,060. Three bedroom, $1,340. And a four bedroom, it's $1,428. And this is all the housing in the city, whether it's new or older three family housing. But that's the average over the last 3 months, according to MLS. You can pull it yourself. So what is the city doing to help out with the the housing in the city. There's some strategies we've come up with. One of them is reduce, reuse, and recycle. The other one is connects housing in job markets. You're seeing that right now with the old Worcester Voc High School is connecting somewhat to the WPI area. That's one of the strategies the city is focusing on. And the last thing is some of these neighborhoods that have had high foreclosure rates and some other issues, we're looking to stabilize some of those neighborhoods now. So this kind of goes a little bit into each strategy. Reduce is some of the real nuisance properties that have a lot of code issues that are structurally unsafe. We're looking to actually reduce, meaning demo some of those properties. Reuse is basically some of the properties that have some issues with them, but aren't too bad. We're looking to identify whether they're a physical defect, meaning something with the property, or just the owner needs some more education on how to maintain properties. And then recycle is coming up with a program to do some rehabilitation for existing housing. And that's where you might be able to come in. There are some programs that are available in specific neighborhoods that are rolling out or soon will be rolling out in the summer that you might be able to take advantage of. Yes. .gov. And I'll make it available. I'm going to email this presentation to Doug, and he can give it to everyone here too. And I do have some hard copies of some of the presentation and some other flyers are up on the table over here. So by Worcester now, one of the main portions of it is owner-occupied housing, which we're not really talking too much about today, but there is a down payment assistance plan if you're looking, if there are some first-time home buyers who are looking to buy a multifamily, there are some opportunities available through down payment assistance there. And some of the other programs that are available, through that down payment assistance, there also is a rehabilitation component to it. The second thing is our lead and healthy homes program, which a lot of you may be interested in. We can do lead remediation. In addition to that, we can do what they call healthy homes. So that includes pest treatment. We can do bed bugs. We can do mold remediation as part of the lead. There's other things we can do in addition to the lead. We can go into a little bit more detail in a second with that. And there is a Worcester Energy program that's open to everyone. It's up to $5,000 per unit. You can have for key upgrades, meaning insulation, heating systems, hot water heaters. Owners do have to pay 50% of the total cost on that. So if you had a $6,000 furnace, you could get rebated up to 50% of that for investors. Owner occupants can get up to 100%. And the last thing too, Union Hill, which some of you may be familiar with, which is the area right around Worcester Academy. It, depending on the source, it was either the third or the fifth hardest hit for foreclosure in the state. There's a big concentration of foreclosures in that area. The city's coming up with a rehabilitation program. Right now it's open to owner occupants, but it potentially as of July could be opened up to investors also, depending on funding, for rehabilitation of the property up to 75% of the assessed value of the property. And this just gives you a little map of Union Hill. Like I said, it's right around, this is Worcester Academy right here. So it's the area right around it. This is Grafton Street up here, Vernon Street's down here. That gives you an idea of where I'm talking about. And this just goes a little bit into the rehabilitation for owner-occupied, which primarily you wouldn't be dealing with. Lead abatement. We do have a lead abatement. There's currently about $2 million left in our grant that runs through June 2015. As I said, there are some additional funds for healthy homes. Right now, we have a cap of $10,000 per unit we can spend towards lead abatement, and $4,000 per unit for healthy homes. Yes. It has to have a child in the building under 6. So if it's a triple decker, as long as there's one child under 6, or it could be a woman that's pregnant also in the building.
So that we can get the Q&A on, could we just take it after?
Sure, sure. As investors, there is a 30% match currently with the program, meaning with owner occupants, we can provide 100% assistance. As investors, we can provide 70. So usually it's between $8,000 and $10,000 a unit for a lot of our properties. So it's about a $3,000 per unit match is typically what you're looking at. As part of the program too, the program does place a 5-year affordability restriction on the property, meaning there's an affordability restriction as far as the rent you can charge per unit. 1-bedroom unit currently is $786. 2-bedroom is $966. 3-bedroom is $1,203, and a 4-bedroom is $1,315. And each year we just collect a rental, like a lease agreement that just states it's at or under those amounts. And after 5 years, this restriction is lifted. In the meantime, between the first year and the 5th year, if you do want to sell, it's prorated 20% each year that you would have to pay back. Or you can transfer as long as there's a no cash out. If there is cash out, it does require a repayment. There's an allowance for those that you can go over the cap. Yep. Yeah, and these are set by HUD each year. They just came out last week, I think. So they come out each year. So each year it goes up or down each year. And again, we're having a question and answer after, so I can answer all your questions. I'll be here till you guys have no more questions tonight. The second program we do have is the Worcester Energy Program. As I was saying just a little bit, it's eligible 1 to 4 unit properties. So if you do have a 6-family or something, it would not be eligible under this program. It is 1 through 4 units. It does include condos or townhouses if you do have those in your rental portfolios too. If they're low or moderate income, homeowners can receive up to 100% reimbursement. Most of you as investors would be receiving a 50% reimbursement up to $5,000 per unit. So like I said, if you had a furnace you needed replacing, it was $6,000, you could get up to a $3,000 rebate. And again, this is both owner-occupied and investor properties. And that gives a brief overview. I do have on each side here, on the side here, I do have some additional paperwork that tells you a lot more of the information. Maybe I can place one on each table after this, just so you can look through it. It gives you some more information on the Worcester Energy Program. And I don't have enough for everyone, but I do have, for the lead program, an investor application, as well as a tenant application. Each tenant over 18 does have to fill out a tenant application for the lead paint program. And that's it, I guess, for now. We'll be back for some questions after.